This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We kick off a series of political segments and discuss the winter storm next. Hello everyone, I hope you're shoveled out, resting, and ready to enjoy some local information. I'm Ken Kara, and I thank you for watching. On Groundhog Day 2021, over a foot of snow is on the ground, and in some places in our viewing area, there's around 2 feet of snow. On Monday, Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf issued a disaster emergency due to the storm. The National Weather Service's winter storm warning expired at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, but caution is still advised as travel may still be difficult with the possibility of more snow on Tuesday night and gusty winds blowing snow around. For updates on road conditions, go to 511pa.com, and for updates on the storm, go to our Facebook page. Over the next few days, we're going to hear from local politicians, former politicians, Democrat, Republican, and Independent, giving their thoughts on new President Joe Biden, the pandemic, and efforts to try and bring the country together. Here's our Janine Lassant to start the series.
SSPTV News, glad to have our good friend Lou Barletta back, former Hazleton mayor, former U.S. States Congressman. Lou, thanks for joining us here on the program.
Hi, Janine. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Let's talk a little bit about 2021, talk about the Republican Party, where we're at with the new president of the United States.
Well, I think we were all anxious to start 2021. 2020 was such a bad year for everyone. If you remember, it started with Kobe Bryant in a tragic accident, and the entire year got worse. So, as we look ahead, I think, your question on what happens to the Republican Party is a good question, since, Donald Trump won't be the president. The Republican Party is the party of Trump. And I believe that there will still be a tug of war, if I can use that metaphor, as to what the Republican Party becomes now. I personally believe that the 74 million people that voted for Donald Trump will not go away and should not go away. Donald Trump changed the Republican Party. It's so diverse now as opposed to the old Republican Party. It's now the party of working men and working women. We have more blacks in the Republican Party than ever, more Latinos in our party more than ever. We have working men, labor, union workers have come into the Republican Party, as the Democrat Party has sort of shifted left and left many people behind. So it'll be very interesting if this battle of what the Republican Party is, if the establishment Republicans will go along.
What is your advice to the local business owners, the mom and pops who are struggling? They've taken out loans, double loans. They've, taken out, sometimes their retirement money to keep their businesses alive, and really with no end in sight, with, some relief from the government. Is there any advice you can give to these local businesses looking to stay open?
Well, first of all, I want to thank them, all of the businesses that are continuing to try, and sorry to those that weren't able to make it. I know many businesses and friends who had great businesses here in around Hazleton just literally couldn't survive. And I've been very vocal about my disappointment in the way how Governor Wolf has handled this in shutting down businesses and not realizing that, these mom and pop businesses can't survive. They had to leave their employees go. They still try to struggle. I went for a coffee the other day, and the owner there told me he had to leave his employees go. He has his family trying to fill in, and he doesn't know if he's going to make it. And so, 2021, I hope that we get the economy going again, that the vaccine will lift the restrictions that we're seeing, especially restaurants who have a very slim margin to begin with, can survive, and that we can get back to some kind of normal life.
And finally, and this might be a hard one, how do we explain where we are in these times with our children, with our youth, over such division, such a time in our lives where we need unity. You know, we tell our kids and our grandkids to love one another, and we turn on the TV or we go to social media, and all we see are these adults on both sides feuding.
Yeah, it has to end, and the great thing about it's not the great thing, it's probably the worst thing about politicians. They'll say one thing and do the opposite, and I think that's why people are so soured and upset. We can't talk about unity and then continue to impeach a president who's not even in office any longer. We can't talk about unity and want to shut down your First Amendment rights. We can't talk about unity and literally, if you think politically one way, that you need to be canceled. I don't know how you unite 74 million people who feel one way and they don't want to be included. So if you're going to talk about unity, I think both sides really need to say, okay, let's put down the bows and arrows and let's find ways that we can work together for the betterment of our country. And I think the person that can do that, whoever does that, I believe you'll see many people gravitate around anyone like that can actually make that happen.
Today's news feature is brought to you by the Cheese Store and more. Head to their Facebook page to check out their specials for Super Bowl Sunday.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Here's a look at our forecast from the National Weather Service. On Wednesday, it's mostly cloudy with a high in the 20s, wind gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Wednesday night, partly cloudy with a low in the teens. Thursday is mostly sunny with a high in the 30s. Thursday night, there's a chance of snow showers after 2 a.m., mostly cloudy with a low in the 20s. Friday, there's a chance of rain and snow showers. It will be cloudy with a high in the 30s. Friday night, a chance of rain showers mixing with snow after 7 p.m. and then gradually ending. It will be mostly cloudy with a low in the 20s. Saturday is partly sunny with a high in the 30s, and Saturday night mostly cloudy with a low around 20 degrees. Coming up next, hear about some of the interesting guests who will be a part of the new season of The Girls here on SSPTV, and some good sports stories, including a clip from our Good Sports podcast and web series with the Standard Speaker, as I talk Penn State football with the CEO of the Penn State Alumni Association. And our news feature is with Wayne Zahner, who grew up in our area and is now trying to make it to the peak of all 7 summits that are located all around the world.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to congratulate the 51 members of MMI Prep's FBLA Club as the students placed in several categories in the regional competition, and now 23 students have advanced to the 2021 FBLA State Leadership Conference. Rose Ostrowski will hit the stage for a live stream concert at the Berwick Theater and Center for Community Arts. The event will kick off at 7 p.m. and all donations will go directly to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. You can stream the concert at the theater's Facebook page. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. James E. Brown, age 84, of Tresco. A private funeral service will be held on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. at the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home. Stanley A. Lubitz III of Drums, the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home, is assisting the family. And William Spangenberg, age 82, of West Hazleton. Mass will be held on Friday at 10 a.m. at St. John Bosco Church. The Hillary J. Bonham Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Today's social and obituary report is brought to you by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory. Call 570-788-0977 or go to harmonfuneral.com.